Alright, so just to kind of clear some things up, I am not a professional gamer or simmer. I am definitely a casual gamer and simmer. I do this stuff when I have spare time, which is very limited. I've been doing a lot of it lately just because I've had 2 weeks off for Christmas, which ends today. But what I want to do is kind of get people to understand that I'm not in any way bashing on any one Viper sim over the other between Falcon BMS and DCS. BMS will always hold a special place for me because I started off at Falcon 4.0, which a good friend of mine got me a copy of it for my birthday, the first birthday um, when I returned home from the service as an F-16 crew chief was what I did in the Air Force. And I came home, and that first year I was home, my first birthday, a good friend of mine got me that game for my birthday, and I've been playing it ever since. Yeah, since back in the day. Well, not ever since because I've taken a lot of years off, but kind of getting back into it. So what I really want to do is just a comparison video between the two. I'm going to run a quick training setup seed mission, hitting some SAM sites in Falcon BMS using the harms, showing the implementation of the HES pod. And the reason why I focus on that is just because that's something that I would really like to see DCS get around to doing. I know they got a lot on their plate, and again, I'm not bashing on them. I'm not doing a, well, this one's better than that one. Okay, they both have their good points. They both have their bad points. No one sim is 100% complete and has it all. You just kind of do the best you can. What you sacrifice in one makes up for in the other. Okay, so I don't want to go down that road. I don't like going down that road. Never have. It's not a this one versus that one. Just want to get that out of the way. I know there's people that are like that, that think, oh, this one's the best and the other one's trash. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. You're obviously going to be one of those kinds of people that you can never convince otherwise anyhow. Well, yeah, even a game like War Thunder that personally I don't like, I think is absolute trash, but it does have a few redeeming qualities. Very few, but don't go at it as a sim. It is very much an arcade game. I know there'll be people that jump on it and try to defend it. That's fine. You like what you like. Everyone has their preferences. So I'm going to go ahead and unfreeze this and get set up for taking out these SAMs. This is Falcon BMS, and then when I'm done with this video, I'll load up a DCS video using the harms as much as they're implemented there, just to kind of show you what the difference is in the completion of this model versus DCS for air to ground work, and even air to air. We'll get to that later. So right now I am ingressing to the target area. See here we got SA2s. You got your threat rings up. One of the things you'll get when you go to air to ground mode, we'll go ahead and power up the harms. As soon as they go to air to ground, boom, the air to ground radar kicks on right off the bat. So what you want to do is come over here and activate your HAD. This is where you're going to use your cursor, and you're going to lock on to things that pop up on your radar. So we got master arm on, and course correction here. We'll even get down a little bit in altitude. Start steering towards them. And we got a little ways. We're just kind of getting inside our threat ring there. What we want is we want those SA2 radars. Or anything that pops up in that range. Now I know they've updated 4.35 is supposedly updated some SAM awareness so that these things are supposed to act a little bit or behave a little better, a little more unpredictable. We'll see what we have. This is the tactical engagement page, but basically the HTS pod makes it so simple. No flipping through pages or anything like that. You've got a threat ring. Okay. That tells you you got a weapons engagement envelope. That's kind of what this dotted circle here is the range with which this weapon will find and deal with threats. So right now we're not even near the threat. Once we get inside the circle, it'll be looking at, it'll start popping on, and right now, got nothing looking at us right now. RWR is silent. Chat flare program. There we go. Something's coming alive now. What you'll end up seeing, zoom in a little bit so you can see the symbology on the page. What you'll see is yellow, they're searching, green, inactive, last position, and when they become hot and they're actively locking you, you're going to see red. Right now they're not doing anything. I'm outside of their range. They're popping on and looking. So there you go. SA2. He's looking. And now we can go rifle. Magnum. My bad. Let's see if we can do get their weapons view.
Sat flare. Sat flare.
Alright,
Caution.
we're dodging now.
Caution. Sat flare. Sat flare. Sat flare. Sat flare.
Gotta get out of here.
Sat flare. Sat flare. Sat flare. Sat flare. Sat flare. Altitude. Altitude.
Well, launch both our harms. Really, the only way you know for sure that you've had an effective hit is the icon here will disappear. So, where the 2 was that lit me up is gone. I know there's more independent radar in the area. What I've got to look for, let's see if we can see smoke anywhere in the target area. Would be kind of a good indication. Hit. And I'm not sure. Well, I know I missed. But you can see, like I said, I'm not a pro at this. But as you can see, the technology is there, or I should say the avionics is there for the harms and the HTS pod. It kind of makes life a little bit easy when it comes to that kind of thing. And for example, right there, HTS pod, and again, everything you need for proper seed, taking out SAM, HTS pod, you got your AOQ jammer. You know, the sniper pod's not very necessary, but helpful. You can at least get a visual of your target that way. You use your target pod, find the SAM site, and use HTS to lock it up with the harms, and off you go. So these are just some of the things that are implemented here that you don't really have in DCS, but would be nice to have. So, yeah, chances are I missed, or they just have more than one independent radar going there. But you can see, very nice display. Block 52 at that. I don't know if that makes much of a difference. I think it probably does. So, in avionics. So yeah. And we're launching that mission. I screwed around and stayed in the area.
Altitude. Altitude.
Time to go. So, anyways, I will end this video, and then go back into DCS.
Pull up.
And set up a similar scenario and go from there. And use the harms in DCS. Okay, so here I am in DCS Viper. Excuse me. And I'm going to get airborne. And we're not going to be very far from the target area. And we're going to do, this is going to be me comparing harm implementation. Again, I picked the harm because it's probably one of the more commonly used weapons for modern combat, taking out SAM sites, air defenses. And we'll start with, everything's pretty much typically what you see. But one of the things that's different, you can clearly see it's visually much better than BMS. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I understand that. That's one of the things about DCS. And again, I want to reinstate that I am not trash talking or pooing on DCS, making it one versus the other by any means. This is where I'm flying in VR, for crying out loud. And this is absolutely addictive. Flying DCS in VR doesn't matter what the airframe is. It is just absolutely amazing. And I know eventually the functionality is going to get there. And when DCS completes the Viper, to have full weapon implementation and full packaging, just like BMS has, this sim will it will dominate. There's no doubt about that. Or if BMS upgrades the visuals, but the difference there is BMS isn't taking any money for what they do versus DCS. DCS, you're paying for this full fidelity aircraft and cockpit, whereas BMS, it's all free. It's all done for free. They take donations if you're willing to give them donations or tips for the guys that create the content, but really it's all 100% free. So the trade-off there is you can't complain about the lower fidelity of graphics for one game and you're not paying for it. And that's something it's always bothered me with folks, is I've seen a lot of people complain about this, that, and the other thing in games or sims or anything like that. And they say, well, when the developer of that game decides to create add-ons, and they say, well, why, this should be free, blah, blah, blah. Well, they gotta eat too. And the work and time that they put into these things is their time. It's time away from their families, or their spare time from their real jobs, if they have real jobs. I'm sure a lot of them probably do, being productive and doing actual things. And then you take that away by expecting all their hard work for free. Well, they don't have to do it for free. And so I don't mind if, give money, and if they say you want this feature, pay for it. It's just like with DCS. Yes, the main game is free, but I don't mind paying for the high fidelity F-16, F-86, or the Nevada maps, or any of those things when I want them, because else, they're not doing this for free, for the fun of it. They gotta eat too. So, getting back to this, switch to air-to-ground mode. As you can see, we're still in air-to-air mode over here. Again, limited. Eventually that'll get implemented. So we'll bring up the HAD, which isn't there. Why? Because no TPS offered. So we'll just bring up HSD, because it'll show us our threat rings. So what you have to do is you have to come over here and go to the weapon page, where you will see what your weapon is. DMS down, make it soy. RWR is telling us we got SA-19s out there, so we have to select that in a table. Okay, so 19, it will pick those up if they're out there. So now let's turn back towards our target, because I just kind of drifted away there. Which is that way. We should still be within, I mean, yeah, we're well within 30 miles, so anything that's going to be getting picked up, it's going to get picked up. But now we've got to point the weapon down. See, now it's picking up the 19. So we'll level off. Try to get our cursor over it and TMS up. Locks it. Get a little more there. And they're not lighting us up yet because we are not in their range. It's a very short range. But we are within what, 15 miles, 20 miles, 15 miles. So I'm gonna go ahead and Magnum. And as you can see, what the missile is doing, it is going to go and hit that target. I'm going to go ahead and turn and stay out of their whiz. And we're going to look for the explosion, which is going to be soon. Or not. So, there it is. Tunguska destroyed. Delayed. Clouds obscured the explosion. But now we are safe from their engagement. We've taken out Tunguska. There's one more in the area. And I'm going to get a little distance. What we would do then is come back in and take out these CBUs. But, I mean, this is still a very acceptable means of harm implementation, very much useful. Like I said, I'm not saying one is better than the other. HTS pod gives you a little bit better picture of what's out there. Don't have to cycle through tables or build tables or anything like that. You just turn it on and go. You don't have to point your airplane towards anything. Magnum. Our Tunguska's right over there. And we're going to see it hit. Nope. He launched.
Flare.
He got one off. Got no launch detect light either. That's it for me. I'm out of munitions. But anyways, yeah, that's the two big differences. Like I said, it's not that one is better than the other. You still fully use your arms, but there's just a little more ability to be standoff with the weapon. I feel, with the HTS pod, over having to have your airplane pointed in the direction of the target area and just kind of straight line on them so it can see what the missile sees and then cycle through weapon pages. You can look a little further out there with the HTS pod and see what's coming ahead of time. So, anyways. that's that. So that's all I wanted to do. So whichever one you choose to fly, or fly both, have fun with it. Like I said, it's just, for me, it really is all about the F-16. It's not about one being better than the other. I do appreciate the fuller avionics of BMS, so you can get more of a sense of learning the aircraft. But, you know, flying VR, where it feels like you really are in the pit, that's unbeatable. That right there is 100% unbeatable. But worth it alone to me. So, whichever you choose to fly, or if you fly both, have fun with it. And again, don't look at it in terms of one is better than the other. Take them both for what they are. Enjoy the functionality that both of them have, the maps, game, all of it, and just enjoy sim flying.